the gated manual Murcielago SV over from Europe, the final Zonda. Never had pizza. What? We have arrived for one of the coolest events of the entire year, the Quail. We're here early for media access. Time to go see some of the most epic and coolest new supercars and hypercars to come in the next year. This is an absolutely ridiculous event. It has everything. Supercars, hypercars, amazing scenery, and the food, unlimited champagne. I'm here for the cars. I will definitely try to get some food, but the Quail is just the next level car event, and there's gonna be some major reveals today. One of the big ones I'm excited for is the Lamborghini Temerario. That's the rumor, right? The Huracan replacement. The show has not officially opened yet, so we're here early for like the setup, media access, and immediately there was just a sea of Koenigsegg's. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary, so big presents, lots of cars. The CCR, a CCX, full carbon fiber ones. We got world record cars. There's a CC GT. Oh yeah. Oh, they have the Senna lineup this year, I think. So they already have a Senna LM right here. That is very cool. Wow. Look at the paint fade down here. We have a GMA here with here's the race car, the T50S, and then T50, T33. These things are special. Built by the guy who designed the F1, right? 3-seater across, naturally aspirated V12, manual transmission, lightweight, with a naturally aspirated V12 that revs to, I believe, 12,000 RPM. And it's got a fan on the back. These people are starting to get ride-along experiences, driving them. Customer deliveries, I believe, should be starting soon. Cannot wait to see more of these. Hopefully experience one someday. So Lamborghini is going to have one of the biggest reveals this week with the Revuelto, the new flagship V12 hybrid Aventador replacement. Deliveries are starting there. That looks like the new Urus plug-in hybrid, and underneath the cover is the Huracan replacement. The name should be Temerario, I think that's how you pronounce it. We'll hear the details and see what it looks like to replace. I mean, the Huracan's a big deal. They sell so many of those. I always love coming to check out the Pagani stand to see what Pagani has this year. Obviously, we have an arrangement of Huayras, special ones, and the new news is the Utopia Roadster. Look at that. After getting to visit the factory last year, I'm even more amazed by Pagani, how they're built, the craftsmanship. And this is crazy. You can get it with either a manual transmission or the paddle shifters, right? That's properly special. Still has the twin turbo V12 and just the absolutely beautiful design. Utopia Roadster. We got to check this out last night, but the Eccentrica, it's a Diablo restoration essentially, right? Modernized. They're only building 19 of these, 5.7 liter naturally aspirated V12. Updated from the regular Diablo, making 550 horsepower, paired with a improved 6-speed manual transmission, and they've modernized it. So there's new carbon fiber touches, lighting, LED lighting, new adaptive dampers. We've got Brembo brakes upgraded there. We have center exit exhaust, I believe, developed with Capristo. And just take a look at that carbon modernized lighting back here, and you can see that naturally aspirated V12. Food is a major component of the Quail, and they have lots of it, and it's all really good. This is the pizza station there. They've got like pizza trucks, right? They gotta be like probably actual properly pizza ovens in the back of those trucks. And there's all these various different food tents scattered around. Last year at the Quail, I did the same thing. Got here early and pretty much ran around the entire time filming. Barely even had time to drink water, taking pictures, catching up with friends, until I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. And I went to the food tents and they were pretty much closing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't get any food. So this year, I'm gonna show you guys the food. So then that's a reason for me to actually go get food and feed myself. Here is the gated manual Murcielago SV over from Europe with the low downforce package. It does not have the big fixed wing. That's how it was from the factory. This metallic brown paint with the gold wheels. And take a look inside. A gated manual SV. These are so exceedingly rare. a lot of people probably didn't even know that they made manual SVs. I think there's like 6 or 7 out there, so crazy, crazy rare. And then right there, the CLK GTR Roadster that's been kind of breaking the internet, making the rounds on social media, on some HREs. The size of this thing is wild. The engine back here, I mean, it's a homologated race car essentially, and the Roadster is extra, extra rare. Owned by Faster LLC. I believe there's 6 of these plus 1 prototype that is out there, so 7 total. But the CLK GTR Roadster, it's funny comparing the size next to this, the McMurtry, which is a tiny little EV like track monster. This thing just demolishes all track records everywhere it goes. I got to see it run at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and because it was raining, the plume of spray coming out the back from the fan to make all that like downforce that suctions it to the road was wild. But look at the size difference. It is tiny. It's already tiny, but compared to the CLK GTR, even tinier.
Show us this new car, of which this is the very first example. Please welcome, inspired by the American West, Ralph Lauren would love it, the 2025 Roof Rodeo.
So despite all the rumors, Porsche is not revealing the 918 replacement, no new hypercar, no GT2 RS. Instead, we have, it looks like a special anniversary Porsche Turbo here with a livery package on it. And then we have the Macan EV hanging out here in the middle. There's a Taycan Turbo GT. And then under the cover here, that looks interesting. That almost looks like a speedster to me, but I believe it's something from the Special Wishes Sonderwunsch department. We'll see what gets revealed later from Porsche. Hennessy with the American hypercar, the Venom F5. Last year they had like 10 of them lined up here. We got some pretty cool specs. Looks like the press conference may be starting. John Hennessy is up there. Come back and check that out. We have Gunther Werks, and they have revealed a new car. Right here up front, the GWR. Last year or 2 years ago, was the Project Tornado, the turbo, the orange one, which is absolutely insane. But this thing, naturally aspirated 4-liter flat 6 built with Roth Sport, quad cam, revs to 9,000 RPM, and the body work is so aggressive. Take a look at these front fenders, the venting. These are magnesium wheels with optional aero disc covers on it. This one here is finished in Marina Bay blue. It's got slightly updated headlights too, new design, and a S-duct here for aero. So the air channels in down here and out the hood, so you can probably actually see through it. All of this is carbon fiber, so it's very, very lightweight. 2,400 pounds, 500 horsepower, 340 pound-feet of torque. They've updated the interior slightly too, but I just love the modern Gunther Werks interpretation of the 993 generation and the engine back here. That is absolutely beautiful. We have a Gunther Werks Speedster here, and then that looks like a turbo finished in a crazy metallic green. The Bugatti Tourbillon, first time seeing this in person. It's been revealed. The replacement for the Chiron with a naturally aspirated V16 hybrid 3 electric motors, 1,775 horsepower. Some more specs on the Bugatti Tourbillon. So 236 mile-an-hour top speed, but over 275 if you have the speed key. It actually has usable electric range, about 30 miles. But the highlight is the 8.3 liter naturally aspirated V16 that revs to 9,000 RPM. That makes 986 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque on its own. And it was developed with Cosworth. This thing's gonna be over $4 million easily. And there are just Koenigsegg's littered everywhere. It's their 30th anniversary, so they bring out a pretty decent sized presence, but this is the most number of Koenigseggs I think I've ever seen in a single place. Koenigsegg carbon fiber is next level. 1 of 70, revealed last year, with a ridiculous transmission that is both simultaneously a proper manual gearbox but also an automatic if you want to. Only Koenigsegg can do just unbelievable technology like that, driving things that just are unmatched by anything else out there. I love the white wheels on this one, matching it. What a beautiful design. You can see the cues that tie this between the CC850 and the older CC cars. Very different feel from the Jesko, the Gemera, and the Agera, but instantly recognizable as a Koenigsegg. Another fun fact, the fuel filler location on Koenigsegg's is right here, which means when you pull up to the pump at the gas station, you have to open the entire engine compartment to put gas in your car. You can't just open a little cap. So it adds to the whole drama and the effect. But yeah, you pull up to the gas station and you pop your entire engine cover to put gas in. The Temerario is wild, not only because it has 4 seats that it looks like you can actually use as an adult, like there is totally usable legroom back here, but we have 8 cup holders, 4 up there, 4 in the back, the whole carbon fiber tunnel, the absolutely massive Koenigsegg doors, and oh yeah, they're just all gonna come with the V8 now from the Jesko plus the hybrid, so I believe it's 2,300 horsepower. You can still fit luggage back here, and it looks utterly ridiculous. Look at the purple on this one. So this is the world's most practical hypercar, without a doubt, right? Nobody can remotely challenge the Temerario in terms of practicality and overall. Obviously, this is a hypercar. Just look at it and listen to the specs. 2,300 horsepower combined. They were supposed to do the 3-cylinder or the V8, but I think all the clients just wanted the twin turbo V8, so they're like, okay, we'll just do the V8 one. 277.9 miles an hour. That's unfathomable speed, right? Just imagine how the distances you're covering at that speed. The Gara RS world record car back in 2017. Wow, it feels like it was just yesterday that it did it. That was 7 years ago. That is, wow. And one thing you'll note that the Koenigsegg's all have the windshield wiper in the middle. That's for aerodynamics, because it's more streamlined when it's vertically oriented that way. Really cool touch. And I love when you're in a Koenigsegg, the wraparound windshield, the A-pillar, it actually really isn't that much of an A-pillar, but it's so far back. Your field of view is amazing, and it's a very, very different experience being one of these cars. We'll wait to see. Maybe this is a customer Jesko. That's my guess. It's right under the cover, so they'll be unveiling that later. There's a world record one. So many Koenigsegg's. Was I able to count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then there's 14 here. There's more running all over Car Week right now. I think the last rumor I heard was 29 or 30 of them. That's a lot. All right, we loop back over to Bugatti. Unfortunately, they closed the doors. They were doing a photo shoot, and they don't want anybody stepping on this beautifully cleaned stage. They do have their press conference later on, but we can just take another quick look at it. It's gonna get so crazy crowded around this car because this is probably one of the highlights at the Quail. Anytime there is a new Bugatti, that is a big deal. You see a lot of familiar resemblance to the Chiron, obviously, but it's all new. Nothing is shared. That horseshoe-shaped front grille there is wider and lower, like squashed down. The headlights still have those 4 little pieces there, but it just looks a little bit more aggressive, angled forward. And you can see actually there's like a channel on the hood that runs from the headlight all the way back to the fender, which is pretty cool. And like Koenigsegg, they've got the single windshield wiper right in the middle. And the big C shape along the side, that's a iconic Bugatti design Q with the 2-tone paint finish. Let's go around to the other side and take a look at the back. Although the interior is the really, really cool part. Wish we could get up close and see inside, right? Like the steering wheel, how it stays, where the gauge cluster stays in place. It's all mechanical, hence the name Tourbillon, right? That's a watch complication, and they were really trying to take inspiration from watches analog. They want this to last the test of time. Not a ton of, no screens essentially, right? Unlike some new supercars and regular mainstream cars, luxury cars that are just pretty much one giant touchscreen on the inside. Oh my gosh, the carbon fiber back there on that diffuser. That diffuser is way more aggressive than a stock Chiron was. And the exhaust is like integrated back there. Taillights remind me of the Mistral quite a lot actually. And then the V16 back there, open air. What a crazy machine.
The successor of the Lamborghini Huracan, the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. So, ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. Let's start with the name. Temerario is the name of a fighting bull, like in the best Lamborghini tradition. Temerario fought in the Arena of Madrid in 1875, and we picked his name because he was very brave. The design is also always to be recognizable. So we have the squared greenhouse, we have the silhouette single line, which is going from the front until the back. We have an iconic and puristic design in this car, and we have design elements like the hexagons in the front lights and in the rear, and also the exhaust, representing details of Lamborghini of the past. And now we come to the heart of Lamborghini, so the powertrain. And this powertrain develops 920 horsepower, coming from a 4-liter V8, B-turbo engine, and 3 electric motors. 2 are assembled on the front axle and 1 in the back between the engine and the gearbox. And if we look at the output, now we have 200 horsepower per liter, and this with an incredible sound is revving up to 10,000 RPMs. We have 13 driving modes, from the most comfortable one to the extreme one, which is Corsa. And together with the all-wheel drive system, the car jump starts from 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds and has a top speed which is exceeding the 212 miles per hour. Also very large, big people, tall people, up to 6.7 foot tall, are fitting comfortably in the cars. And I have to say that this car is coming from the very beginning in 2 versions. So we have this one, and then we have the Temerario Alleggerita, which means a lighter car. It has less weight, so 55 pounds reduced, improved aerodynamic, and even more downforce. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something which is very close to my heart, because I think that the lineup you see here is the best we've ever had at Lamborghini in the 61 years of history.
We're back on the Lamborghini stand. There's a little bit more space to check out the
Check out the John Temerario.
The John Temerario, yeah. The Temerario. What do you think of the powertrain?
I love how high it revs.
Yeah.
I'm sad they went to V8. I mean, anyone who tells you that they're not is lying. STO values are going up. All Huracan values are going up. But overall, I think it'll be really fun. It's going to be very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast.
It's 920 horsepower combined.
Yeah.
10,000 RPM out of the 4-liter twin-turbo V8, and also the hybridization. So it's going to be 1 motor in the back, 2 motors up front, so still all-wheel drive, 8-speed dual clutch. But the styling, that's what
Do we think this will be faster? Again, like the baby Lambos are always faster. It used to be dual clutch versus non-dual clutch.
Yeah.
Help the Huracan. Do we think this will be faster than the Revuelto?
I don't know.
The Revuelto's fast.
This is similar power. I mean, that's the Revuelto's 1,000.
Yeah.
This is 920
I don't know the curve
weight.
weight,
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be around 4,000 pounds.
Okay.
A little bit smaller. The styling, it's obviously wild Lamborghini as we expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying you like the curve of the
I
hip?
like the curve. They're doing like this hip bone on the back of this car now, kind of like on the Revuelto. I don't like how they droop in the rear.
I see that.
But I
Because
do
everything
think-
else angles up a little bit more.
It comes back up. The ducktail's cool, but
Yeah.
overall, this is going to be very recognizable from the back on the road, like extremely.
Oh, I mean, just a single hexagonal tail on either side with like the matching center exit exhaust.
Centenario style cut out.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can see the whole tire, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This matte blue paint. And there's a lot of like venting here. You see along the back, carbon diffuser back here. There's going to be a lightweight version they're doing too. They said they're announcing, I forget,
Right away?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And when they did the press conference, they said there's going to be a lightweight version that's 55. I forget kilos or pounds, and obviously it's a very, very important metric, but 55 something weight
That's so
lighter.
interesting to
Yeah.
watch it at the same time.
Exactly. Usually we have to wait for any special,
Superleggera,
but it's not like a
yeah.
Performante or Superleggera.
Okay. They start with the cutout tires, or with the cutouts behind the tires. I think the special editions will look really cool, and I just noticed they did the bowl back here too, kind of like on the Revuelto. It has the bowl horns on the roof line.
You get that kind of outline over the roof and then the engine cover.
If the brake light lights it all up again, it could end up looking like that. So.
Take a super quick peek inside. We have the door sill plate there. It's supposed to be much more spacious. Tall people can fit in. Similar to the Revuelto in many ways. I'm so sorry. Wait, Nelly, you're the one who actually owns the Huracan, right? That's not Alex's car. What do you think of the new? Yeah, that is absolutely your car.
He's been dailying.
Yeah, what do you think?
Are we talking about the STO or this?
This.
T
As an STO
something?
owner, what do you think about the new Lamborghini T?
I like this one specifically for the
really?
color.
Okay.
I love my STO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Nelly. And I just noticed this. The venting in front of the headlights, that's all open to channel airflow. And it's got much thinner headlights with the hexagonal lighting element underneath. It looks like an evolution on the Huracan, but just much more like squinty. The powertrain to me is the most interesting part, the specs and so forth, right? It'll be quick. It should still sound good, right? Revving to 10,000 RPM is definitely impressive. No more V10, RIP to the 5.2 liter V10, but hybridized now with plenty of power, updated styling, a little more practical on the inside. The new baby Lambo, what do you think? Comment below. Look at that, they're like giant wings. And the green carbon, again, just looks so amazing. You see what I meant about also exposed carbon cars? Like everything is pretty much exposed carbon fiber. The tech must have advanced so much to make the weave just perfect so you can just display the amazingness of the tinted carbon fiber here. The center seating position, because it's one seat in front of the other, and look how thin those racing carbon bucket seats are. This is the VMAX version, so no giant wing, but look here in the engine compartment how everything is like almost alien-like the way it's molded because it's been optimized for the rapid prototyping process and everything. And the specs on the VMAX, 0 to 60, 62, 63 in 1.9 seconds, 0 to 248 to 0 in 27.1, the quarter mile in 8.1 seconds, 253 mile an hour top speed and 1,250 horsepower with a 2.88 twin turbo V8. Wild. So as you can tell, the Quail is just sensory overload in the best possible way. The coolest of cars, all the different manufacturers, the different classes, the different reveals, and then also the food. There's all you can drink, champagne, cocktails, whatever. I haven't had anything. I probably should get some water. I'm a little dehydrated. Tried out some of the food and just taking in all the cars, walking around. You run into some friends. You see Horatio Pagani and Christian von Koenigsegg just walking around. They have the press conferences, revealing new cars. It's always an experience, always a trip. I am utterly exhausted. I've been here since 7:30 a.m., still going. I gotta go check out the Maserati again, go by Bugatti, go by Rimac. Yeah, I'm walking by McLaren. It's just, there is so much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Maserati GT2 Stradale. Beautiful color, but let's talk about the performance part because that's what this car is all about. First point, downforce. We completely redesigned the front with an amazing, massive front splitter, the carbon fiber hood air extractors, and then the fully adjustable rear wing. These components in itself add a whopping 800 pounds of additional downforce. At the same time, we made the car lighter. Like I said, excessive use of carbon fiber and other components add up to a weight loss of 130 pounds. Of course, the car will also be stiffer for better handling. You can see here that we massively improved the engine cooling. We also upgraded the power of the engine, and these two factors combined allow you to really go on the track, hit it hard, and even after a long track session, do not lose horsepower because, again, of a massive improved air cooling system. When you're on the track, you also need stopping power. So we have increased the size of the disc brakes, carbon ceramics. We added extra hood ventilation here to help with brake cooling. And you can see also here in the front fascia, there's an additional extra dedicated brake duct cooling system. The front wheels, semi-slicks, and the beautiful monodado central lock system to really make this car track worthy.
All right, Maserati. First off, let's look at this paint finish. It's like a matte blue with an insane amount of pearl flake with like purple hues to it. Look at the door with the sun hitting it. Their paint finishes have been just utterly amazing. I've spent some time with Gran Turismo Trofeo in a yellow that was just crazy. It was $30,000 for the paint option, but it looked amazing. So we've got fender louvers here for brake cooling. We've got a much more aggressive vented hood and a completely redesigned front end, way more aggressive. Center lock wheels, those always look race car. Larger carbon ceramic brakes, and that blue finish on the brake calipers looks pretty awesome too. Cup 2R tires, which are a proper track focused tire. Way bigger cooling intakes on the side here, and the inside, carbon race buckets. Wow, those look very, very aggressive. Not the most comfortable with the racing harness there too. Even the center console area got the lightweight treatment with this like carbon fiber bridge for your buttons there. Your drive mode dial has moved. The big fixed wing back here, Nettuno V6 twin turbo, and you can see on that clear cover, got kind of like the trident designed into that. We got two wings actually. Got the big wing up here, the swan neck wing, where it's mounted on the top, so you maximize surface area underneath, and then another little lip back here. Much more aggressive diffuser too. Let's get up close with the Pagani Utopia Roadster. Now that the sun is out, you can really see that red carbon with the black carbon surround around the headlights. This is a really, really nice spec. I like this spec more than the launch spec for the Utopia Coupe. We've got butterfly doors now instead of the gull wing doors like the Wyra had, but that benefit means that when you take the top off, you can still have the cool doors that go up like the Coupe, right? Remember the Wyra Roadster just has conventional doors. This interior has this cross-woven leather insert, the red carbon on the seats, the gated manual shifter, and it has more of like the analog feel. They're trying to preserve that. You see a lot of really high-end manufacturers from Bugatti to Pagani. They're trying to maintain the longevity of the cars. They don't get dated by putting massive screens everywhere. And then you have the V12 back here, inboard suspension, hugely wide rear tires, your luggage, carbon fiber luggage with the straps to store things in there, and the entire rear clamshell that opens up with Horatio Pagani signature, and then that red carbon is just beautiful. The iconic quad exhaust tips for Pagani, the Utopia Roadster. And look at how the taillights hinge when they open the rear engine compartment, right? They stay with the compartment as it goes up the top area. That's so cool too. Does this have different wheels from the left to the right actually? Yeah, the wheels are different. This one has like an aero disc on that side. Latching shut. The curves, oh my goodness. Just all one giant piece of red carbon. Then you have to actually strap it shut with like a leather watch strap. And this is one of the craziest details too. Look at how the weave lines up between these panels from the door onto the engine cover area. That attention to detail is absolutely wild. The red carbon around the transmission tunnel. There's a look at the Pagani Utopia Roadster. This purple is crazy too. Check out the engine on display here. They updated the camshafts, got a new throttle body, and still naturally aspirated. It sounds properly epic. The interior's got some slight modernization. They're only building 19 of these. We're gonna join a line to get some pizza.
Now, Eddie's never had pizza before, and that's a fun fact for all of you longtime viewers. He's never had pizza before, so this is his first time, and he's very nervous because cheese, bread, and sauce sounds like a lot for him.
It's not fried rice.
It's true. It's not fried rice.
It's true. I've never had pizza before. I'm a pizza virgin, about to have my first slice of pizza ever. And what better way to have it than at Quail?
Are you really?
Yeah, never had pizza.
What?
Look at that fresh pepperoni. Can I get a slice of that too? Thank you so much. Oh yeah. I'll buy you ice cream.
Oh, good. What kind
Yeah.
of coffee did you get?
Coffee.
What other kinds of coffee were there?
I don't know.
Not coffee?
Not coffee.
Oh.
So this tent here is the Italian section. Let's see what they have. Looks like crispy chicken and other various Italian things. The Apollo IE is a car with so many points and sharp edges. I feel like just looking at it the wrong way might get yourself like a cut. But the purple carbon on this is pretty crazy. There's just so much sculpting all over this thing. And of course it has a ridiculous V12, even the purple carbon on the inside. And then the rear, the exhaust in this enormous wing is also crazy. Get this like triple diamond shape with the kind of blue tinted titanium, more purple carbon. It is definitely a wild looking car. There's at least 2 or 3 of them running around Car Week this year. The final Zonda, the Zonda Arrivederci. I can't speak Italian, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the final Zonda, and look at the details. We have silver carbon fiber weave with the blue carbon contrast and the light blue and red striping, the blue carbon around the headlights, the subtle little canards on the side with more of that accenting. We have the black carbon on the lower splitter, blue carbon accent. This is so cool. The final Pagani Zonda. They've done a lot of special editions. Like the Zonda has technically been out of production for a while, right? We're done with the Wyra production. They're on to the Utopia, which is up there. And then we get the final Zonda right here. We have the roof scoop, topless here, the red leather. Look at the wood on the steering wheel. Very different feeling from the Utopia and the Wyra on the inside. Let's take a look at the plaque here. Chassis number 140, Zonda Arrivederci. The last road-going Zonda. Commissioned for, I'm assuming, Chris Singh. But look at the speakers back there behind the seats. Wow, they're like floating with that machined bracket holding it in place. More blue carbon. The livery extends, and a huge wing that is bolted to the side. Back here, huge fixed wing. The iconic quad exhaust with the circle surround. The Zonda Arrivederci. Yeah, that's you can pronounce it. But the triple taillights here, the diffuser, I mean, yeah. The Zonda is still iconic, absolutely iconic. Naturally aspirated V12, whereas they went to twin turbo V12 on the later models. I love Paganis. If you ever have a chance to go to the factory in Italy, I would highly recommend it. I did Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Pagani was by far my favorite. When I was there, they were building Huayra Rs. It was crazy. No pictures, obviously, but just such an experience seeing where these works of art and engineering come to life. Let's take an up-close look at the Tourbillon. We have the doors up, the dihedral doors. That's a big departure from the Chiron. The overall car is lower, like wider, more mean and aggressive. The front end is more raked forward, but you still have that horseshoe-shaped front grille. The headlights are thinner and more aggressive. Plenty of carbon fiber, obviously, here, including on the hood. And then the center carbon fiber windshield wiper. Look, that whole thing is just sheathed in carbon fiber. But we have to take a look at the interior because that's where it gets really special. They focused on making this as analog as possible to make it last the test of time, right? You don't want a bunch of touchscreens. Those date a car. And it's like the mechanical beauty of a watch, hence the name. There really aren't any screens. There's one that can pop out, but if you look at this interior, this will age very, very well. And of course, the materials are top tier. Everything is leather, stitched. Look at the sides of the bolsters there. Tourbillon. The steering wheel rotates while the center cluster stays fixed completely. I gotta go to the other side, take a look at that steering wheel. And then back here, open air, V16. Look how far it extends towards the cabin, right? This opening with the giant light bar coming down the middle and the carbon fiber. Naturally aspirated V16, it sounds just utterly ridiculous. Can't wait to hear one of these in person. We have the big taillight bar back here. And then an absolutely ridiculous diffuser. This is just a regular Tourbillon, right? I'm assuming we'll get like sport versions, a super sport version. Look how deep that is. It just extends back there with the exhaust tips, almost integrated into it. And now let's take a peek over here on the driver's side. The steering wheel here, the mechanical gauges, that's like literally artwork, mechanical artwork. And the steering wheel here will rotate independent and the inside stays there. That is utterly amazing. The carbon fiber everywhere, the leather, the stitching, the details. That is one of the coolest steering wheel clusters I have ever seen on a car. Right here we see the carbon skeleton underneath the skin of the Tourbillon. There's still the logo up front, but you see the framework underneath, the electric motor. So 2 electric motors up front, 1 electric motor in the rear. That seems to be a more common packaging solution right now, right? The Revuelto is similar, the new Lamborghini Temerario is similar, and all the carbon fiber there. The batteries are down the center tunnel. It's a 21 kilowatt hour battery pack. So you have usable electric range. You can drive in all electric mode, with the carbon structure going all the way back here. You can see the V16 back here. It is such a long engine, 8.3 liter naturally aspirated V16. So that orientation means it will be longer than the W16. And it is quite cool seeing how the exhaust integrates right into the diffuser, where the diffuser actually goes over top the carbon with the exhaust tips coming out here. And that's another cool little detail. You have Rimac technology, right? Obviously that partnership helps with the electrification because of the next car we're gonna look at, the Rimac Nevera, right? The all EV hypercar. I'm glad that this new gen Bugatti did not go all electric. They decided to keep a internal combustion engine and not just carry over the W16 and hybridize that. They built a new naturally aspirated V16 that revs to the moon and makes tremendous power on its own with the NA response, and they have hybridization, so you get the torque, you get the flexibility of driving in all electric mode in city centers where you have to, and yeah, theoretically it'll probably be more efficient fuel economy wise. We'll see how, actually, owners who buy these cars could not care less about fuel economy. But there we go, the Bugatti Tourbillon. And that brings us to this car, the Rimac Nevera R, a more powerful version of an already incredibly powerful all-electric hypercar. It's now 2,107 horsepower. Yeah, over 2,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 1.74 seconds, and it's way more aggressive in terms of the aero, so it can handle the turns even better. So it's not just straight line speed. I mean, it already had ridiculous straight line speed, but take a look at this sculpted carbon fiber rear wing, a huge rear wing. The diffuser looks to be updated too. 0 to 60 in 1.74 seconds. I don't know if the human body can handle that. That's gotta be just like uncomfortably fast. The quarter mile in 8.23 seconds, and it'll do 256 miles an hour. I really hope they take this to the Nürburgring and just set some ridiculous record. The front end has been completely restyled too, way more aggressive. It comes to a more kind of sculpted point up front. And then come and take a look at the interior. It was already pretty cool. Carbon tub, obviously. You see how different this is from the Bugatti. There's screens in here, right? It feels much more kind of this era, but still relatively minimalistic. Very, very nice here. It's got the dihedral doors too. Honestly, it's a pretty good time right now to be a fan of supercars, hypercars, enthusiast cars, everything, because you have options, right? You have hybridization, you have naturally aspirated ones, you have forced induction, you have all electric, you have hybrid, like there's the whole range. If you have classic cars, I mean, obviously you can still buy classic cars, but you have recreations of classic cars that have been modernized and the performance turned up. There's new cutting edge technology. There's still manual V12 options coming out. The only problem is price. Almost everything we're seeing here is tremendously, insanely expensive. Like the price tags attached to most of these cars are over 7 figures. They're all multi-million-dollar cars. So it's really cool coming to the Quail as somebody who couldn't even afford the wheels on some of these cars and just getting up close and seeing these cars. It's unbelievable. This is the Cadillac Opulent Velocity, a luxury EV hypercar concept from the American brand, and it has some crazy design cues. Take a look at the taillights, they're just fading off infinitely into that rear bumper, and the paint fade from the back towards the front with this giant glass canopy and the massive concept car wheels. This is supposed to offer level 4 autonomy, hence the opulent part, right? The luxury of self-driving autonomy. The front end features some familiar Cadillac design cues like these blade DRLs that cuts through the bodywork, but it's so aggressive and sculpted. This is a really cool design with a massive dihedral door. And then we take a look inside. So in opulent mode, it would be completely self-driving, level 4 autonomy. And then in Velocity, it presents the steering wheel and pedals for you so you can actually drive. But this interior is absolutely ridiculous. The back here, it's not even seats, it's like a giant luxury couch. Pretty cool to see this concept from Cadillac. This Acura Integra Type S prototype is properly cool. I really hope they turn this into a production car. Look at the vented hood, and this yellow paint is amazing. Looks like it's a bit of a wide body treatment. It's got racing buckets inside, no back seat. So if it does hit production, I expect that might change. You might actually have back seats, but a big fixed wing here. The center exit exhaust. Like this would be a really cool, more premium luxury performance sedan, right? Take the Civic Type R, Acura Fiat, and then just make it even more aggressive. Like it looks really good. The yellow and black contrast. I really hope they turn this into some sort of production version. So over on this side is like the main field here, but we can actually cross the road and there's an entire other half of the show on this side. Pininfarina's over there. They've got something new to check out. It's a one-off. Oh, that's the Korea food tent. I was looking for that actually. And then there's the great Ferrari. So how about we go look at some Ferraris first. We'll do a loop around here to see what's on display. All right, F40 LM. This looks like an LM actually. F40. Yeah, man, it's way more aggressive. Race car. Wow, look at that hood versus the regular road-going F40. That's a good way to start off. Oh, there's another one. All right, cool. So we have 3 F40s, Competizione Aperta in a crazy spec. Love the blue. I love non-resale red Ferraris. And the top-down V12 conclusion to the 812 generation, the hardcore track-focused one. I admit I don't know classic Ferraris that well. I see them usually when I'm out here doing Car Week, but these are very expensive. This is a 250. Any sort of 250 is going to be worth a lot of money. This is the Pininfarina Battista Targa America, a one-off commissioned by a client. It still has the 4 electric motors, 1,877 horsepower EV hypercar, but the change is it's a Targa now, right? So the roof has been removed. And the other big thing is they added a cigar storage / humidor in the middle. So whoever got this car wants to enjoy top-down EV hypercar, cigar smoking freedom. It's a pretty classy spec here. You see the plaque that says Battista Targa America EV hypercar. It definitely looks nice, as you would expect from Pininfarina, right? They have to design cars that look absolutely beautiful. But here is the new one-off. No idea on pricing, probably very expensive. Let's check out the Korea food tent. All right, let's show food. Let's see, they got banchan, veggies, kimchi fried rice, scallion pancakes, woo, and some bulgogi beef. All right, I'm gonna get some food. This was Porsche's other big reveal, a 993 Speedster from the Special Wishes department. Tons of changes. We saw it under the cover earlier, but this is just showing off what Porsche's Sonderwunsch department can do. First start up with the Lamborghini Temerario 4-liter twin-turbo V8.
Agreed. Come down.
All right, cars are leaving. The show is technically over. It's almost 4:30. Been here since 7:30, but what a long, exhausting, but amazing day with the new reveals, seeing the cars, catching up with some friends, tried out some good food. This is the Quail. Every year, it's the best car show. Like nothing can top the Quail. I've gotten to go to Goodwood Festival of Speed, and that's something that does arguably bring a different variable because you have the cars driving and running up the hill. But, I mean, the weather was fantastic today, and the level of cars is unbelievable. So here in America, this is the best show. Absolutely the best. Comment below which of the new supercars and hypercars did you think is the coolest coming in 2025 and beyond. We have some stuff here that's even further down the pipeline, but I'm looking at Bugatti Tourbillon right now. Right behind me, right? There's a Bugatti Tourbillon. We just left the Koenigsegg stand where there were like, I don't know how many, 10, 15 Koenigsegg's. Yeah, I'm tired, but this was exhilarating.